Good morning. Final scheduled game of the weekend. KC Hockey Club playing against the Rochester, Minnesota Mustangs this morning. I believe, if I have the understanding of the little friendly weekend worked out right, if they win today, KC Hockey Club would get one more game, and it would be against Minnesota Hockey Club, or the Minnesota Mustangs at 12:30. Just a three-game friendly, or a three-team friendly here this weekend with Omaha, Kansas City, and Rochester, Minnesota. Rochester, Minnesota twice have beaten Omaha, once against Kansas City, and this is their second game against Kansas City. So Rochester would be in this final game no matter what. And pending the outcome of this game, Kansas City could earn their way into one final game here at 12:30. Not sure how it would work out if there was a loss this morning. See the goals for and goals against, how that shakes out. The classic win and you're in. KC can take care of business, then they could move on and have one more game. If not, we'll just have to see how the chips fall, and if they get a second game today, they do. Excuse me. Then they would get one more game. So we'll see how it shakes out. This is actually game number 51 on the season. So a long season comes to a close today, one way or another, as KC wraps up their season here in Omaha. Good to see Asher Barron back on the ice. Under the weather the first couple days. Back there on right D this morning. Back in the action. Barron and McClin on D start the game. Bachta and Weisner are your wingers. Gunnar Smith took the center face-off to start the action this morning. Back to the point, shot from McClin. Loose puck right in front, backhand trying to get that in, stuffed in there, but kicked out by the goalie. Again, back to the point for McClin. Weisner trying to drop it down low, looking for Smith. Smith heading towards the crease, loose puck in front, trying to tuck it in. Bouncer right in front, 2 or 3 cracks at it. Eventually cleared out by the Minnesota defense. Mustangs break it up through center ice. Quick shot on target. Chest pad saved by Agri, kicks it aside. Puck kicks into the corner. Weisner will kick it around, looking for Barron. Barron brings it up the right side. Good outlet pass for Weisner. Weisner gets a stick on it. They wave off icing. I'm not sure that it touched a Mustang player, but they wave off icing. Howard jumps the pass right at the blue line, trying to wait for Hargadine to get back on side. He turns around, cycles through some traffic, plays it over to Hargadine. Chip pass right back. Hargadine looking for Howard, but intercepted by Minnesota. Here comes the Mustang the other direction. They'll flip it into the zone. Phillips is back with Weisner. Phillips trying to chip it ahead to Weisner. Gets tied up with the Mustang player behind the net. Hargadine, JC, and Howard are your forwards. JC up to Hargadine. Hargadine breaking it out the right side, up through the blue line. He's got Howard at center. Quick shot, looking for a rebound. Shot by Howard. Kicks wide. Leg pad saved by the Mustang goalie, kicks into the far boards. Mustangs coming up the near side into the neutral zone, picked off by Weisner. Weisner back to Phillips. Phillips trying to get a pass out to the neutral zone. Poke check by the Mustangs, flipped up and over the boards. We get a stoppage in play here, our first one of the game, with 11:52 remaining in the first period. Powell pushes the puck up the right side, trying to find Myers. KC enters the zone. Johnson and Myers on the right side. Logan Weisner, your other forward. Hill and Powell back on defense. We'll scrum in the corner. 2 players from each team tied up. The referee will blow it dead. We'll get a stoppage in play here. Quick shot by Myers after the face-off win by Johnson. Goes wide right behind the net. Mustangs trying to clear. Hill keeps it alive at the point. Great backhand move. Drops it right back in the zone. Good poke check there by Weisner. Battling a guy 6-8 inches taller than him. He comes away with the puck. KC will play it back to the point. Back to Hill. Hill back down low looking for Weisner. Weisner trying to find a centering pass opportunity. He drops it back to Johnson. Back to the point for Hill. Shot from Hill at the point. Tip, redirect right in front. Loose puck. Johnson trying to get a rebound stuffed in there, got forced wide of the net. Good opportunity. Another quick shot by Hill. Shoots it wide left. Weisner picks up the rebound. Tied up in the far corner. Casey with some great pressure and good opportunities here. Stoppage in play here. May have been a delayed penalty. We'll see. I'm not sure. It looked like Minnesota touched it up, and they blew the whistle. And Minnesota does go to the box, number 11. Couldn't quite see the call, but Minnesota goes to the box here with just under 11 minutes remaining in the first. Casey on the power play. Hargadine will take the face-off. Weisner and Barron are your defensemen. JC and Howard are your wingers. Barron plays it back down low to Howard. Right behind the net, back out, trickles back to the point. Left D over to right D. Weisner down inside the face-off circle. He'll play it back to Barron. Top of the slot, quick shot, blocker save. Mustangs defenseman picks it up, circles behind the net. Howard playing it back down low. Drop pass for JC. Back to the point to Weisner. Weisner trying to get around some traffic. Back down low to JC. JC trying to go behind the net. He'll play it over to Hargadine. Just under Hargadine's stick. Slides around. The Mustangs are trying to clear it out. Almost kept in by Barron at the point. Takes it out and back in. Barron back down the face-off circle. Backdoor looking for a shot off the side of the net. Good play by Barron over to JC. Just overskated a little bit and shot it on the side of the net. Mustangs cleared out. Good pressure by Kansas City. 1:05 remaining on the power play. Barron picks up the puck on the left side. Pass over to Weisner on the right side, over the blue line. Bouncing puck. Weisner trying to corral it. Poke checked away, though, by the Mustangs. Rochester circles behind their own net, trying to play it off the boards and out, but kept in by Smith. Smith bangs it off the boards, playing it down low to Weisner. Weisner circling behind the Mustangs' net. Trying to find some space. Drop pass for his brother, Landon Weisner. Weisner trying to go around the face-off circle, gets into the slot. Trying to play it over to Smith. Smith touches it back to the point for Powell. Powell lets a shot fly. Takes the Mustang defenseman. 20 seconds remaining on the power play. Kept in by Powell momentarily. Another outlet pass by the Mustangs. Good play by Weisner. Back checking. Johnson picks up the loose puck after the back check by Weisner, trying to clear it out. Kept in at the point, though, by the Mustangs. 5 seconds on the penalty kill for the Mustangs. Almost got it back to full strength. Full strength shot from the point. Right in front. Loose puck picked up by Johnson. He taps it ahead to Weisner. Weisner skating around some traffic. He'll play it up to Smith. Smith through center ice across the blue line. Lets a shot fly right on target. Saved by the Mustangs. Goalie hangs on to that one. We'll get a face-off in the Mustang zone here with 8.5 minutes remaining in the first. Face-off controlled by Kansas City. Brown played it back to Hill, but intercepted by the Mustangs. Mustangs player rushing up through center ice across the blue line. McClin back on D with Hill. McClin picks his pocket. He'll circle behind his own net. Eager in net, by the way. Not sure if I mentioned that. Outlet pass to Dungy. They clear the zone. Tied up with the Mustangs at center ice. Mustangs come away with it. They'll play it back to the D line. Left D to right D. Circling around in their own zone. They'll play it up through center ice across the red line. Into the Kansas City zone. Picked up by McClin. McClin circling behind his own net, trying to play it up to Dungy. Tied up on the far sides. 2 Mustang players, 3 from Kansas City. Dungy skates away with it, plays it off the boards and clears his zone, trying to chase after it. Chipped it off the boards. Poke check by a Mustang player, breaks up the rush. Brown dumps it in. Dungy back to the bench. Line change, Kansas City. Barron and McClin on the ice for Kansas City. A Mustang player clears it all the way down. We'll get an icing call once it makes it to the other end. 7:23 remaining. Face-off comes back down in the Minnesota zone. Myers gets tripped up with the player. The Mustangs kick it into the far corner. Weisner chasing after it. Phillips from the point. Shot goes wide right. Phillips and Weisner on the defensive line. Mustangs pick up the puck, trying to clear the zone up through center ice. Phillips plays a man on the far side with a good stick check. Pokes the puck into the far corner. He ties up his man in the far corner. Mustangs come away with it though, trying to get it back to their D-line. Loose puck shot off the side of the net, and the rebound goes through the crease. Myers and Johnson trying to clear the zone. Johnson gets tripped up. Myers chasing after it. Mustangs dump it right back in and head for the bench on a line change. Weisner behind his own net. Works it over to Myers. Myers cross-ice pass looking for Logan Weisner. Logan Weisner circling back in his own zone. He'll play it off the board, circling around looking for Myers. Scrum here on the near boards. Eventually dug out. Logan Weisner chasing after it, trying to get some separation. Logan Weisner up the right side. All alone as KC's on a line change. Logan Weisner by himself in the near corner. Tied up with two Mustangs. Minnesota digs it out. Great interception there at the blue line by Howard. Howard keeps the play alive. Eventually chipped out though by the Mustangs. The stoppage in play here may have been an offsides. 5:46 remaining. Argadine, Howard, and JC are your forwards. Powell and Hill on defense. Mustangs dump it into Kansas City zone. Mustangs player goes hard into the boards. Powell trying to clear it out behind his own net, but a good poke check by Minnesota. They steal the puck, play it back to the right D. Shot from the right D goes wide. They play it off the boards, trying to get it back to the left D. Looking for a little tip right in front. Loose puck in front, cleared out by the Kansas City defense. Back in attempt goes wide. Another centering attempt, and they score. Picked up a loose puck behind the net. Centering attempt right in front. One-timer. Rochester goes up 1-0 here with 5:46 remaining in the first period. Rochester strikes first. Bachta and Dungy are your wingers. Smith takes the face-off with Barron and McClenn on D. KC controls it. Barron rushing up the right side, looking for a quick shot. Gets into the face-off circle. Poke checked away right before he pulls the trigger. Mustangs come away with it. They'll try to clear it out into center ice. Mustangs pushing up the right side into the Kansas City zone, but just ahead of the puck. Offsides call. KC controls the face-off, but played up Dungy on the right side. Dungy enters the zone. Quick shot on target. Glove save by the Mustangs goalie. He'll hang on to that one. We'll get a face-off in the Minnesota zone. KC controls. Dungy plays it back to Barron. Barron dumps it back down low to Dungy. He'll circle it around for Bachta. Bachta plays it back to the point for McClenn. Back down low to Bachta, trying to get a centering pass. Picked off, though, by the Mustangs. They'll rush it out of the zone on the far side. Errant pass by the Mustangs. Picked up by Barron, trying to clear it out. Couple quick shot, and they score. Clearing attempt. Kept in by the Mustangs at the point. Quick centering pass between the circles. Mustangs get a quick shot, and they strike again. Quickly 2-0. Rochester. Clearing attempt by Kansas City went off the boards, came right back to a Mustang player who centered it. Quick snapshot. They beat Eager. Go up 2-0. Just under 5 minutes remaining here in this first period. Brown drop pass to Weisner. Weisner backhands it over to Johnson, just inside the blue line, but Myers just ahead of the action there. Offsides call. Get a face-off just outside the zone. Weisner and Phillips on the defensive line. Johnson to take the face-off with Myers and Brown. This puck picked up by the Mustangs. Phillips plays his man into the boards. Johnson there along with Myers. Mustangs come away with it. They play it back to the left D. Quick shot goes wide right. Picked up by Myers. Trying to clear it out of the zone, but kept in by the right D of the Mustangs. Weisner clears it out. Takes a hop off the boards. Johnson gets tied up, trying to block a shot. Slow to get up, but Mustangs pick up the puck at center ice. They'll dump it right back into Kansas City zone. Johnson will skate back to the bench. Shaken up on the play. Phillips trying to clear it. It's tied up. Loose puck in front. Slides all the way to the crease. They turn around, fire a second shot. Eager with the first save. Scrolling down, made the second save. Loose puck was right on the post. Mustangs couldn't punch it in. Another shot from the right D. Turned aside by Eager. Mustangs will play it back to the point, trying to keep it alive. Left D dumps it back down low. Weisner chasing after it. Together, centering pass, same time that first goal. Same type of pass, I should say, as that first goal, but it's turned aside by the KC defense. Smith picks it up, streaking up the right side. Smith across the blue line. Into the Mustang zone, trying to get through one more defenseman and get a shot, but he's poke checked away and tipped into the corner. Broken up by Weisner. JC picks up a loose puck, trying to dump it in. Turned aside by the Mustangs. Loose puck comes back to center ice. Weisner over to Powell. Powell pushing up the right side. He's got JC with him. Quick shot by Powell. Loose puck right in front. Kicked aside by the defenseman. Good hard shot by Powell. Goalie made the save, but a bouncing puck right in front. JC looked like he was there, but another defenseman got there first and kicked it aside. JC pursuing behind the net. Good forecheck pressure by Kansas City. Picked off by Hargadine. The clearing attempt right in front of JC. Back in attempt by JC right in front. Saved by the Mustang goalie. Good puck movement right there from Hargadine to JC in front of the net. Mustang goalie up to the challenge. 2.5 minutes remaining in the first. Face off just to the right of the Minnesota goal. KC plays it back to the point. Weisner sends it in low. Weisner and Baranari defenseman. Loose puck picked up by the Mustangs. They try to clear it out, but Weisner keeps it alive. Weisner, back door looking for Hargadine. Shot in front, tipped, goes right through the crease. Tipped just to the right side and turned aside by a Rochester defenseman. Mustangs clear it out. Back to center ice. Hargadine gets taken down. Bakta does a good job to body up his man. Rochester resets in their own zone. Rochester dumps it in, goes off the referee's leg, but it's picked up by Barron. Barron chips it ahead, trying to find Howard. Howard gets it through some traffic. Loose puck picked up by Barron. Numbers here for Kansas City. Barron down to the face-off circle, plays it right through the legs of a defenseman. Just slides to the crease where he can get a handle on it and make a shot. Loose puck picked up by Barron, trying to get it over to Hargadine, but the Mustangs pick it up and they'll clear the zone. Howard floating back to defense. Back checking going into the far corner. Mustangs pick up the puck, looking for a centering pass. Tied up with Howard. Howard skates through a couple of checks. Hargadine picks it up. Hargadine and Howard. Howard goes back to the bench. Right when Hargadine made a pass, they both go back to the bench. Mustangs with a shot from the point, turned aside by Eager. Loose puck picked up by Powell behind his own net. Powell plays it over on the far side to Dungy. Dungy will skate it up. He's got Johnson trying to play it off the boards. Dungy sends it ahead looking for Johnson. They wave off icing. Johnson gets there first, trying to get a centering pass for Dungy, but picked off by the Mustangs. Mustangs have cleared out. Puck circling around, picked up by the Mustangs on the far side. They'll play it back to the left D. Trying to get a shot. Doesn't get through. Johnson with a great poke check. Smith chasing after it. KC clears the zone. Smith trying to get some pressure there. Poke checked away by the Mustangs, but Johnson comes away with it. Johnson across the blue line, trying to get a pass over to Smith. Picked up by Powell. Quick shot, goes wide right. Loose puck picked up behind the net by Johnson, trying to play it back to the left deep. Poked away by the Mustangs defense. Johnson right in front, trying to get a shot, lost an edge. Smith pressuring the defense behind the net. Loose puck right in front, and that's the end of the first period. A couple good rushes right there for Kansas City. A few good looks. The period expires. KC in the offensive zone there with some pressure. Couldn't punch it in. We head into the second period. KC down 2-0. Looked it up before the game started. This is actually game number 51, so good season, long season, lots of miles. Game number 51 now, and if chips fall in KC's favor, they could get a second game today, which would be game number 52, and that would be the final one. Season ends today one way or another. KC several games above 500. I believe last time I checked it was maybe 24-18 and 5 ties. 24-18 and 5 maybe before coming into this weekend. So double check that. Above 500, good season. Spring hockey right around the corner. A lot of kids already in other sports, baseball and golf underway as well. So been going at it since tryouts in July. Practice started in August. Friendlies began Labor Day weekend. Tournaments right after that. So all wraps up today though. Mustangs control the face-off to start the second period. They'll play it up the near side. Barron and McClin back on defense for Kansas City. Smith trying to get around some traffic. He's on the ice with Bachta and Logan Weisner are your forwards. Bachta rushing back, just barely offsides as Barron poke-checked the puck into the zone before Bachta got back. So offsides call here, just under 14 minutes remaining. Loose puck picked up by Logan Weisner, kicked inside, turned aside by the Mustangs. Puck trickles back into the Kansas City zone though. Quick shot by the Mustangs, turned aside, does not get through the KC defense, picked up by Weisner. Logan Weisner streaking ahead with Smith. Weisner on the left side, drop pass for Smith. Smith trying to play it off the boards around some traffic, but picked up by the Mustangs, and they'll clear back to the point. They'll chip it up and over. Chasing after it, Bachta back checking. Barron back as well, they'll force him wide. Loose puck in front, kicked aside. Rebound, banged through, but doesn't get through the traffic. Right on the skates of the KC defense. Dug out by Smith. Smith plays it off the boards and clear the zone. And the Mustangs will regroup at center ice. Drop pass for the right D. Outlet pass picked off by Smith. Smith and Weisner into the zone. Smith pushing ahead on the right side. Rest of the team back for a line change. Smith kind of fighting for himself back there. He plays it over to Howard. Howard, Hargadine, and Smith on the ice. Smith looking for a tough shot, and he scores! Smith bangs it off the side of the goalie and tucks it in. Tough angle, but you never know what will happen if you fire it. Puck's on net. Smith bangs it off the goalie. It goes in the back of the net. KC on the board, 2-1 here with just about 12 and a half minutes remaining in the second. Smith battling all by himself in the corner. The rest of the team went for a line change. Keeps the play alive in the far corner. Got a little more support after the line change. Picked up a loose puck. Fired it off the goalie, and that goes in. KC's on the board. Mustangs control the face-off, circling around into the KC zone on the right side. Phillips and Weisner on defense for Kansas City. Weisner picks it up, plays it over to JC. JC over to Hargadine. Hargadine trying to play it around some traffic. Scoots up the right side. Hargadine looking for Howard in the front. Another quick shot, looking for the same kind of play that Smith just scored on. Delayed penalty coming up against the Mustangs. JC in front, loose puck. Howard trying to tuck it in. Kicked aside by the Mustangs. The Mustangs will touch it up. And we get a stoppage in play here. Mustangs will go to the box. Boarding call when they took down Hargadine behind the net. KC goes on the power play here. 12:02 remaining. Man advantage, Kansas City. Barron and Weisner on defense. Hargadine will take the face-off with Howard and JC on the wings. Hargadine wins it back to Barron. Pinches down. Quick slap shot. Goalie got his arm up. Just wide. Loose puck picked up by Weisner. Weisner will play it back to Barron. Barron looking for another snapshot. He'll play it back down low to Hargadine. Hargadine back to Barron to the face-off circle. Circling around. He'll play it over to the right side to Weisner. Back to Barron. Hargadine one-timer. Fanned on it, but Howard plays it back to Hargadine. Hargadine back to Barron at the point. Barron cross-ice pass looking for Weisner at the face-off circle on the far side. Couldn't get it settled for a shot, but he plays it back to Hargadine. Hargadine playing it back down low. He'll play it back to the point, over to Weisner. 1:14 remaining on the power play. Weisner over to Barron. Barron looking for a quick snapshot, just wide right. Just an inch past the right post. There was a little gap there. Goalie had maybe the right foot or so open, but Barron just a little bit wide. Shot from the right side by JC. Turned aside by the defense. Mustangs pick it up. They'll clear the zone. They flip it up and out of the zone all the way down. 45 seconds remaining. No icing. Got tipped. They wave it off. Weisner plays it off the boards, trying to find Howard or Hargadine. Picked off at center ice by the Mustangs. Mustangs rushing into the near corner. Tied up by Weisner. Hargadine will dig it out. 27 seconds remaining on the power play. Hargadine with a good move. He evades some traffic. Plays it ahead to Howard. Sauce pass bouncing just out of his reach. Hargadine with a good poke check behind the net. Another Mustang player back checking picks it up. They'll play it out of the zone, but it's picked off by Barron. 10 seconds remaining in the power play. Weisner chasing after it. Back for checking pressure with Johnson. Johnson trying to dig it out. Full strength for Minnesota. Loose puck behind the net. Weisner picks it up. Trying to play it back to the point. Looking for Hill. Puck caroms into center ice. Back checking his pal. Odd man rush, and they score. Loose puck bounced into center ice right on the tape of a Minnesota Mustang. They beat Eager on the right side. Rochester goes up 3-1 there on the breakaway. This puck dug out by Hill after the faceoff. He plays it up to Smith. Smith just around the faceoff circle. Shot gets tipped, goes high over the crossbar. Logan Weisner in the far corner. He digs it out. Flips it back looking for Smith. Turned aside. Smith with a wraparound attempt. Smith trying to dig it out and get it back to the point for Hill. Picked up by the Mustangs and they clear the zone. Back checking is Johnson. He'll play it back to Hill. Hill pinching down across the blue line. Quick shot right on target. Saved by the Mustangs. Goalie hangs on to that one. We'll get a face-off here just outside the goal. 9:15 remaining in the second. Dungy wins the face-off, plays it over to Myers, back to Hill. Hill trying to dump it in, poke checked away. Brown and Dungy trying to go give and go there, but it's poked away by the Mustangs. Kept in momentarily by Powell, but chipped out by the Mustangs. Hill circling back, trying to clear it, comes over to the Mustangs. 2-on-0 break, and they shot it wide. Mustangs with the centering pass goes off the skate on the back door. Another quick shot saved by Eager. Loose puck turned aside. Can't get that other rebound out of there. The Mustangs tuck it in. They go up 4-1 there. Peppering of shots right in the crease. KC couldn't get it cleared out, and they tuck in the third or fourth attempt there. Mustangs go up 4-1 now with a little under 9 minutes remaining here in the second. KC keeping it close until those last two odd man rushes. A breakaway for the Mustangs and a 2-on-0 there that eventually turned into a goal. Mustangs rushing up the right side. They enter the zone in Kansas City. Poke check. They get through some traffic. Goes all the way through the crease. Kicked aside by Barron. Mustangs played into the low corner, trying to get a centering pass. Hargadine poke checks it away. McClin will dig it out. McClin circling up the near corner. Gets through some traffic. They'll skate it up with Howard and Hargadine and Bakta. Plays it over to Howard. Howard getting through the slot. Quick shot in the middle. Loose puck right in front, and they score! Bakta closes the gap to 2 goals. 4-2 now, Kansas City. Second goal of the game here with 8:02 remaining. Good rush there by Kansas City. Firing the pucks on the net. Loose puck came after the rebound, and Bakta on the left side tucks it in. KC closes the gap. Continue to battle here. Hargadine with the face-off. Bakta and Howard are your wingers. Hargadine digs it out over the blue line, trying to fight through some traffic. Looking for a centering pass, trying to play it back to Bakta as he got upended. Mustangs come away with it. Mustangs streaking through center ice to play it off the boards. Mustang player over the blue line, though, as that pass entered the zone. Mustang player was ahead of the puck. Offsides call. KC plays it back to Phillips. Over to Weisner. Weisner dumps it in. Puck circles behind the Mustangs net. Johnson chasing after it. Puck's flipped out to the point, kept in by Phillips. Phillips trying to get it ahead to Johnson. Johnson looking to play it over to JC. Loose puck right in front. Shot. Score! Smith over to JC. Great pass. Good look. Phillips keeps it in at the point. Plays it over to Smith, who taps it over to JC for the one-timer, and Casey's cut the lead down to 1. 2 quick goals by Minnesota. 2 quick goals by Kansas City. Back to a 1-goal game, 4-3 now with 7.5 minutes remaining in the second.
Let's go! Go by goal, Matt! Keep it up! Keep it up!
Johnson picks up the puck after a pass by McClin. Gets upended. Cleared out by the Mustangs. Mustangs rush the other direction. Weisner and Phillips back. 2-on-2. Quick shot by the Mustangs. Blocker saved by Eager. Eager kicks it into the corner, picked up by JC. JC over to Smith. Smith with a head of steam up the right side, trying to rush through some traffic. Poke check, though, by the Mustangs, right around center ice. They'll kick it back to Weisner. Weisner circling around, buys some time, trying to get a cross-ice pass, looking for Johnson. Bangs off the boards, ends up on the stick of a Mustang player, but picked off by Johnson. Just a little too far. Good poke check by Johnson. Just went a little too far. Picked up by Mustangs player, eventually slid into the crease, covered by the Mustangs goalie. But good forecheck pressure there by Johnson, almost came away with one. Weisner and Phillips on defense. Hargadine to take the face-off. We'll switch it up here. Barron back out on the ice. Barron and Weisner on defense. Howard, Hargadine, and Weisner are your forwards. Loose puck picked up by Kansas City. Weisner trying to play it back to the point and tied up with Minnesota. Minnesota digs it out. They play it into center ice. Barron is there just outside the KC blue line. Barron battling. Weisner comes away with it. Weisner will play it back to Landon Weisner. Landon Weisner off the boards over to Howard. Howard and Hargadine across the blue line. Quick shot looking for a rebound is Logan Weisner right there on the back door looking for a rebound. Great save by the Mustang goalie. He hangs on to it. Logan Weisner was streaking right there in the back door looking for a rebound. Casey controls the face-off. Howard trying to play it back. Poke checked away as he was trying to play it back to the defense. Mustangs cleared out. Mustangs enter the KC zone. Fan on the shot. Picked up by Weisner trying to clear it out. Barron picks up a loose puck. Barron, Howard, and Hargadine. 3-on-2 across the blue line. Quick snapshot by Barron. He scores! Low right side. Asher Barron ties it up. Kansas City's notched it at 4-4. Quick snapshot by Barron. He beats the goalie under the glove side, low right side of the net. Kansas City has tied it here with just under 6 minutes remaining in the second. Offensive outpouring here. 3 goals in the second period for Kansas City. Smith takes the face off with Johnson and JC on the wings. Powell and Hill are your defensemen. Face off won by Minnesota, but Johnson jumps through the traffic and chips it ahead. Minnesota poke checks it, takes it right back. They enter the KC zone on the left side. Trying to get a centering pass turned aside by Powell. Good poke check by Powell. JC applying pressure in the far corner. Powell digs it out. He'll play it over to Johnson. Johnson streaking up their left side. He's got Smith in tow. Johnson trying to get around some traffic. Maintains possession in the near corner. Couple stick checks there by Kansas City. Johnson there along with Smith. Kept in at the point by Hill. JC picks up the loose puck. Skating around some traffic, trying to get a centering pass right in front. Johnson trying to get his stick down. He was poke checked in the last second. Couldn't get a shot off. Minnesota clears it out. Up through the neutral zone. Pass intercepted by Hill. Great job by Hill to poke check that away. JC chips it out into center ice. Johnson chasing after it, but picked up by a Mustang player. They'll circle around and play it through center ice. Poke check by JC breaks up that rush. KC clears the zone. JC over to Smith. Smith trying to get a drop pass over to Johnson. Johnson up the right side. Line change Kansas City. Another quick shot off the side. Tough angle. The stick save goes behind the net. Good pressure by Weisner to keep it alive. Mustangs cleared out, but it comes back to McClin. McClin plays it ahead to Brown. Brown to the blue line. He'll play it over to Weisner. Weisner, quick shot. Rebound right in front, cleared out by the Mustang defense. Weisner trying to keep it alive. He'll send it back down low into the corner. Brown ties him up. Brown and Weisner on the near side. It's eventually chipped out, comes back to McClin. McClin plays it off the boards. Tied up with a couple Mustangs. He'll chip it back ahead to McClin. He'll play it again up to Weisner. A little back and forth. McClin again picks up at center ice. He plays it over to Brown on the right side. Brown streaking through, plays it over to Weisner. Back to McClin. Hope checked away though by the Mustangs. Mustangs play it through center ice across the red line. Outlet pass on the left side. Mustangs enter the Kansas City zone. Barron chasing after in the far corner. Barron ties up his man. Steals the puck, sends it over to Weisner on the near side. Mustangs keep it in at the right point though. McClin trying to clear it out. Brown trying to backhand it out of the zone. Comes back to center ice. The Mustangs will regroup. 3 minutes remaining here in the second period. McClin and Barron tied up the Mustangs behind the net. Mustangs trying to get something going here in the face-off circle, but another good poke check by McClin. Shot right on target, turned aside by Eager. Barron digs it out of the crease. He'll flip it up and out of the zone. Puck comes back to the blue line for the Mustangs. Offsides, back and forth over the blue line. Stoppage in play here. .229 remaining in the second period. 4-4 tie here. KC did a great job to battle back, being down 4-1. 3 unanswered goals. KC controls the face-off. Weisner plays it over to Phillips. Phillips chips it up the boards, trying to get around some traffic, but kept in by the Mustangs. They get down to the face-off circle. Quick shot right in front. Loose puck, and they score. Mustangs kept it in at the point. Quick shot. Initially saved by Eager, and the loose puck came to the right side. KC couldn't clear it out of the crease. Mustangs tuck it in to go up 5-4. See if KC can answer and tie it back up here. Good offensive outpouring here in the second period. Back down to a 1-goal deficit, though. Phillips plays it behind the net. Trying to find Weisner. Loose puck in front. Slap shot by the Mustang. Comes back to the corner. Karam's all the way out the blue line, though, and Baca chips it ahead to Smith. Smith across the blue line, trying to get around some traffic. Smith down in the face-off circle. Trying to get a shot. It's forced behind the net. Centering pass by Smith goes right in front. Loose puck covered up by the Mustang goalie. Down to take the face off here. He's got JC and Howard on the wings. Barron and Weisner on defense. Good shot by KC, goes wide. JC digs it out of the corner, trying to get a centering pass. Howard back to Hargadine. Hargadine circling around some traffic. He works behind the net, looking for a wraparound right in front. Loose puck kicked into the crease and cleared out by the Rochester defense. Mustangs bring it up through center ice. Over the right side, quick shot blocked by Barron. Loose puck behind the net. Try to get a centering pass. Goes all the way back to the right point. They'll corral it, trying to get a slap shot. Howard closed in on him. They'll play it back down low. Barron chips it ahead to Howard. Howard trying to get an outlet pass there, but kept in at the point by the Mustangs. Errant pass picked up by JC. JC across center ice. Got Hargadine just overskated it momentarily, but he regains possession and dumps it back in. Mustangs circling around in their own zone. Good pressure by Hargadine. Mustangs play it off the boards behind their own net, trying to clear it out. Comes back to the point, just out of the zone, picked up by Landon Weisner. Weisner over to Barron. Barron, good chip pass over to Hargadine across the blue line. Hargadine around some traffic, down to the face-off circle. Quick snipe, and he scores! Hargadine around. Last defenseman. Ties it up for Kansas City. Back to 5-5. Tie score. Beats the goalie on the left side. 22 seconds remaining in the period. Hargadine strikes. KC has tied it up 5-5. Good pass from Barron right on the blue line as Hargadine entered the zone. A little mohawk. Picked up the puck as he received it with a little mohawk. Circled around the last defender just under the face-off dot. Quick wrist shot. KC has tied it up. 10 goals so far this morning. Kansas City plays it behind the net. Powell trying to chip it ahead to Johnson. Intercepted, though, at the point. Sent right back in by the Mustangs. 4 seconds remaining. Outlet pass looking for Johnson just out of his reach. That'll do it for the period. KC with 4 goals in the period. Tying it up 5-5 just before time expires on period number 2. We head into the final frame here. 5-5 tie. Lots of action here. Not at all. All good.
I'm adding color though.
Yeah, no, I like the energy. The energy's great. Could be the final intermission pep talk here of the season. Maybe they get one more game. We'll see how this final period shakes out. Great job by Kansas City. Never giving up. Battling every time there's a deficit, they keep battling back. Barron and McLean will start on defense. Smith will take the face off with Bakta and Weisner on the wings. 1 period to go here. Smith wins the face-off over to Bakta. Bakta pushes up the right side, picked off by the Mustangs. They try to clear it out, bangs off of Weisner. Second attempt clears in zone. Smith and Weisner on the far side. Weisner pokes it ahead looking for Bakta, but turned aside by the Mustang defense. Mustangs rush up center ice into the Kansas City zone, tied up by Bakta on the near side. Bakta and Barron trying to send it out, kept in by the Mustangs. Good stick chick there by Barron. He plays it out, but not quite past the blue line. Mustangs will send it back down low. Barron circles it around for Weisner. Weisner and Bakta through center ice. Bakta back to Weisner. Weisner up the left side, trying to get a shot and a rebound right in front. Just out of the reach, though, of Bakta. Loose puck picked up by Smith. Smith trying to play it back to Barron to the point. Barron sends it back down low. Smith chips around some traffic looking for Weisner, but tied up with a couple Mustang players in the near corner. Hargadine on the ice now. He'll dig it out behind the net. Hargadine working behind the net, looking for a wraparound. Plays it right in front for Weisner, but just poke checked away at the last second. Good pass by Hargadine, looking for Weisner. Barron circles around some traffic at center ice. Poke checked away. McLean ends up with it. McLean trying to get it ahead. Looking for Hargadine. Poked away by the Mustangs. JC picks it up. He'll send it back in the zone. Hargadine chasing after it. Hargadine battling behind the net. JC there in support as well. Mustangs flip it up and out of the zone. Poke check by Howard. Mustangs regroup. They're over the blue line. Cross-ice pass. The far face-off circle shot goes wide behind Eager. Loose puck picked up by JC. JC digs it out. He'll play it up to Hargadine. Hargadine and Howard cross the blue line. They enter the zone. Hargadine mohawks around a player looking for a centering pass. Loose puck in front. Mustang goalie tried to corral it. It kind of ramped up and bounced, but he eventually covered it up. We'll get a face-off here just outside the Minnesota goal. Weisner and Phillips are your defensive unit here. Hargadine will take the drop with Howard and JC on the wings. Hargadine throws a face-off. Momentarily got tied up, though. The Mustangs dug it out. They'll play it up the center ice. Mustangs down, quick shot, turned aside by Eager. Stick save right in front. They'll play it over to JC. JC streaking up the right side. Skates around some traffic, trying to get a little touch pass, looking for Howard, but picked off by the Mustangs right at the blue line. Mustangs player loses an edge. Hargadine just over the blue line, trying to get some space there, but got tripped up. Loose puck bouncing around. Casey had a little opportunity there. Just couldn't quite corral the bouncing puck. Johnson picks up the loose puck at the blue line, battling by himself, and a line change by Kansas City. Quick shot, stick save by the Mustangs, goes into the corner. Myers and Johnson down low battling. Mustangs dig it out behind their own net. They play it up to the point, but it's kept in by Dungy. Dungy sending it back down low, looking for Johnson. Phillips and Powell on defense for Kansas City. Puck squirts away, it's dug out by Myers. Myers plays it back to Dungy. Dungy trying to pick up the puck and scoot it back to the point, but he's tied up by some Mustangs players as well. Eventually dug out by Johnson. Johnson trying to get some space. He'll play it back to Powell. Powell lets a shot fly, looking for Myers for a tip. Just wide. Johnson digs it out. Hill on the ice for Kansas City. Back at the left point. Johnson battling on the far side. Tied up with two Mustang players. Myers there in support as well. Johnson digs it out. Circles around, trying to buy some time, maybe play it back to the point. He gets tied up, and the Mustangs come away with it. They play it back, but not out. Hill keeps it in at the point. Myers and Hill battling with Dungy. Loose puck sitting right there at the blue line. Eventually dug out by Powell. Powell regroups. He plays it over on the far side to Johnson. Johnson down to the face-off circle, trying to get around. A quick snipe shot, saved by the goalie. Loose puck right in front. Casey trying to bang the rebound in, and they score! Cannon Hill puts in the rebound. Kansas City goes up 6-5. I believe that was Hill who got the rebound. First shot saved by the Mustang goalie and just floated right in front of the net. Mustang goalie not happy. He's waving his arms, banging the net. Not sure if he's upset with his team, the ref, just generally frustrated with the goal, but he finally picks up his stick.
Keep it up, stay tough.
Kansas City goes up 6-5, the 11th goal of the contest. The referee's going to have to reset that net and double check it after the Mustang goalie got so upset he pushes it off the pegs. Referee adjusts the net, gets it back squared away now. Kansas City with the line change. Smith will take the face-off. Bachta and Brown are your wingers. Barron and McClin on defense. Casey takes a one-goal lead here with just under 10 minutes remaining. Barron picks up the loose puck. He'll play it off the boards, trying to play it around some traffic. He skates through a player. Player got upended. It looks like a delayed penalty here. Touched up by the Mustangs. Little action after the whistle here. There's already one penalty being called. Now to get some offsetting penalties. Bachta going to the box for Kansas City. Checking the replay here. A little back and forth shoving, a little slash. Didn't look too serious there. I watched the replay. It's a little shoving after the whistle between Bachta and, can't see the player's number, but another Mustang player. See how the referees sort this out. It looked like potentially a man advantage for Kansas City, but now we got a... There it is. That was the initial delayed call on Minnesota. After the whistle was blown, another pair of penalties. Offsetting penalty with Bachta and one more Minnesota player. So 2 players in the box for the Mustangs. Bachta in the box for Kansas City. Should result in a man advantage for KC. See how they sort this out here. Nothing on the board yet, but I would imagine they'd have at least the one penalty for the man advantage for KC when they get sorted out. Wasn't sure if they might call that on Barron. Barron just a bigger skater. He skated through a kid who got upended, but it must have been some sort of interference call on the Mustangs player, which ended up tripping up Barron. And that was the initial delayed penalty. Then after the whistle, little action by 2 other players. So Bachta goes off with the offsetting penalty with the Mustang player, but the initial one was, I think, called on the interference with Barron. We do have 2 penalties on the board now for Rochester.
Let's go, KC!
5-on-4 hockey. Hargadine to take the face-off. JC and Howard are your wingers. Barron and Weisner on defense for Kansas City. KC wins it back to Barron. Barron over to Weisner. Quick snapshot from Weisner. Loose puck right in front. Cleared out by the Mustangs. Comes back to the point again. Back to Barron. He'll play it back down low to Hargadine. Right back to the point for Barons. Snapshot goes off the shin guard of a Mustang player. Barron trying to play it down, but the Mustangs come away with it, streaking up through center ice. They overskate it. JC picks it up. Circling around. JC plays it up to Hargadine, just over the blue line. Hargadine trying to get through some traffic down to the face-off circle. Poke check by the Mustangs behind the net. Hargadine plays it back to Howard. Howard in the face-off circle. Fanned on the shot. Picked up by the Mustangs. They rush the other direction. Howard and Weisner back for Kansas City. Short-handed rush for the Mustangs. Barron ties him up. Howard picks the pocket. Quick shot. Tipped. Flutters behind the net. Picked up by Weisner. Weisner outlet pass to JC. JC and Hargadine rushing up the right side. Hargadine over the blue line. They play it into the corner. Poke checked away by the Mustang defense. Smith is there. Smith and Hargadine battling in the corner. Mustangs circling around their own net. They play it behind their net, back to the right D. Kept into the point momentarily by Barron, but the bouncing puck picked up by the Mustangs. They rush over the blue line. Back checking as Smith comes away with it. Smith plays it off the boards. Good play looking for Johnson. Plays it off the glass. Just out of his reach, though, and the Mustangs come away with it at their own blue line. Poke check by Smith. Smith and Johnson. 2-on opportunity. Smith, quick shot. Trying to get it through, actually. It looked like he was trying to get a pass through, but blocked by the Mustangs. Mustangs cleared out. I'll say Powell touched it, maybe a tip. Comes all the way back to the Kansas City zone. Powell circling short of his own net. Picks up a loose puck. Powell with the head of steam off the right side. Plays it off the boards looking for Smith. Mustangs clear it right back down. Hill back checking for Kansas City. One player in pursuit for the Mustangs. Weisner digs it out. Hill tied up his man, and Weisner digs out the puck. He plays it up to Johnson on the right side. Johnson over the red line. He'll dump it in. Just under the red line. Dumps it in. Line change, Kansas City. Mustangs regroup. Outlet pass at center ice, but a good poke check by Myers breaks up the rush. Hill plays it behind the net, looking for Johnson. Johnson trying to play it through some traffic. Chips it ahead, picked up by Dungy. Dungy and Myers streaking up the right side. Dungy plays it to Myers just under the blue line. Myers around some traffic off the boards, plays it into the corner. Myers gets boarded into the corner. There'll be a penalty here on the Mustangs if they push Myers from the back. Number one rule, no check if you can see the numbers. They push Myers right on the back. That'll create another man advantage here for Kansas City with 6:44 remaining. KC goes back on the power play. Hargadine, Howard, and JC are your forwards. Barron and Weisner on defense. Just under 7 minutes remaining in the third period. KC hanging on to a 1-goal lead, trying to add to it now on the power play. Hargadine wins the faceoff over to Howard. Back to Barron. Quick snapshot looking for a tip or a rebound. Hargadine backhand attempt on the rebound. Got turned aside. JC digs it out. He plays it back down low across the other corner. Hargadine chasing after it. Mustangs get there first, trying to keep it in, trying to chip it out, but Barron keeps it in at the point. Hargadine circling around, playing it back down low into the corner. Howard there in support as well. Howard and Hargadine battling with the Mustangs player. Loose puck squirts out, picked up by the Mustangs in the face-off circle. Loose puck picked up at center ice by Barron. He pitches down below the blue line. Quick snapshot from the circle. Shot saved by the goalie. He hangs on to it. Looked like he was kind of leaning back or falling. Not sure he had the puck, but it did drop out right in front of his pads, but held on to it long enough for a whistle. 6 minutes remaining. 1:17 remaining on the power play. Smith on the ice. Johnson and Weisner are your wingers. KC wins the face-off, taps it over to Weisner, back to Barron on the point. Barron looking for a quick wrist shot, snapshot in front, blocked by the goalie, kicked out. Mustangs dig it out to center ice. Rushing down the left side, forced to the side by Weisner. Good poke check by Weisner. Mustangs hanging on to it, tied up behind the net. Logan Weisner digs it out. Sauce pass around some traffic, looking for Johnson. Turned aside by the Mustangs, but Barron is right there to pick it up, just across the blue line. Kept in at the point. Play it back down low to Barron. Barron fights off a check. Circling around. Barron plays it right in front of the net, looking for a loose puck in front. Johnson's right there with the tip, goes off the side of the net. Mustangs pick it up. 30 seconds remaining in the penalty kill for the Mustangs. They break it out of their own zone. Up the right side. Barron almost on the bench for a line change. Turns around and chips the puck back to center ice. Flipped into the Kansas City bench. So we get a stoppage in play here, just over 5 minutes remaining. Face off in the Kansas City zone as KC cleared it into their bench. 24 seconds remaining on the power play for Kansas City. Powell controls the face-off, circling behind his own net, trying to play it off the boards, looking for Weisner. He chips it up the board, kept in by the Mustangs. Powell's right there to send it right back. They do clear the zone. Flipped right back in by the Mustangs, though. Hill chasing after it. Hill circling behind his own net. Pressured by a Mustangs player. Cleared out, though, by Kansas City. Johnson in a foot race, chasing after it. He kicks ahead to himself, just out of his reach. Loose puck right in front. Covered up by the Mustang goalie. A little action after the whistle here. I'm not sure, maybe the goalie might have been involved in that one as well. A little shoving after the fact. We're going to take Smith and a Mustang player to the box, offsetting penalties. Offsetting minors, still be 5-on-5 hockey here. Johnson will be with Weisner and Brown on the wings. Powell and Hill on defense for Kansas City. KC wins a face-off. Brown trying to get it back to the point. Picked up by the Mustangs. Mustangs rushing up the right side. Powell back on D. Back-checking is Weisner as well. Powell's going to pick up a penalty there. Touched up by Johnson. Now Powell will go off. Powell got tangled up and took his man down on the back check. That'll result in a man advantage here for Minnesota. KC will be on the penalty kill. They send out Weisner, Johnson, and Hill. Johnson to take the face-off. KC will need to kill off a penalty here. Hanging on to a 1-goal lead. Hill playing it behind his own net, skating through some traffic. Weisner tying up his man on the near boards. Mustangs play it back to the point. Over to the right D. Pinching down to the face-off circle. Quick snapshot. Glove save by Eager. He hangs on to it. We get the stoppage in play here with just over 4 minutes remaining. 18 seconds ticked off the penalty. Face-off controlled by Kansas City. Johnson wins it back to Landon Weisner. Weisner trying to find his brother Logan Weisner on the near boards. 3 Mustang players and 2 Weisners tied up on the side. Logan Weisner comes away with it. The stoppage in play here. Going to take both players off. Another pair of offsetting penalties. It's a party in the box now. 3 Kansas City players in the box. Getting a little crowded in there. Weisner, Powell, and Smith having a little party in the box with 3:46 remaining. Mustangs control the face-off. Quick shot from the right D goes all the way through the crease. They'll play it back to the left D. Shot blocked by Howard. Mustangs pick up a loose puck. They'll play it back to the right D. Back over left D. Quick shot. Save. I don't know if they actually got through. Might have hit a defenseman. Comes right back to the left D for the Mustangs. They'll play it back down low below the red line. Trying to set something up behind the net. They lose an edge. Barron picks up a loose puck. He'll circle it around off the glass and clear it all the way down. It'll be an icing, but kills some time. It doesn't get there. The puck settles just short of the red line. Great clear. Burns all kinds of time. And does not result in an icing call. Picked off by Howard. Howard sends it back down low. 37 seconds remaining on the penalty kill for Kansas City. Outlet pass on the left side. Mustangs through center ice. Lost an edge. Picked up by Barron. Barron flips it back up and out of the zone. Back to center ice. Johnson pursuing. This puck picked up by the Mustangs over the end of the Kansas City zone. Poke check by Phillips. Phillips comes away with it. He'll play it off the glass. Back to center ice. Clears it all the way down. That'll do it for the penalty kill. KC has killed it off. Back to full strength. Offsetting penalties in the box. There's still 2 players from each team, but no longer a man advantage for Minnesota. Offsides call Kansas City. They dump it across the blue line with Logan Weisner streaking back, just not quite onside yet. 1 player in the box. This is the last pair of offsetting penalties. Weisner is still in there with, can't tell the number, but the last set of offsetting penalties are still in the box. Smith will take the face-off. Logan Weisner. Johnson on the ice for the forward line. Barron and McLean on defense. Just over 2 minutes remaining. KC hanging on to a 1-goal advantage. Mustangs control the face-off. They'll play it back to the left D. Johnson with pressure at center ice, but the Mustangs dump it in. Puck circles behind the net. Barron chasing after it. He gets to the puck first. Ties up his man. Smith is there. He'll play it up to Johnson. They flip it up and out of the zone. Offsides call. Puck squirts out past the blue line. The Mustangs dump it right back in, but an offsides call. Just under 2 minutes remaining.
2 minutes.
Mustangs control the face-off just over the blue line. Picked up by Barron. Quick sauce pass right out of the zone. Back to center ice. Mustangs flipped into Kansas City zone, but turned right out by McLean. Right at the blue line, though, kept in. Mustangs player fanned on it. Picked up by Smith. Smith rushing through center ice. They'll chip it ahead. Mustangs pick it off at their own blue line. Just under the red line. Great clear by Logan Weisner. Just under the red line. He sends it back in the Mustang zone. 90 seconds remaining in the 3rd period. We'll keep an eye on that net. Potentially an empty net situation coming up. Johnson trying to play it ahead to Hargadine. Couple poke checks at center ice. The Mustangs rush into Kansas City zone. They'll dump it. Puck caroms off the backboards right behind Eager. Barron playing it over to Hargadine. Loose puck in front. Dug out by Hargadine. He plays it over to Johnson. Johnson off the boards, trying to clear it out. Kept in, though, by the Mustangs at the point. Johnson battling here on the near boards, trying to clear the zone with Hargadine. Loose puck played over to the point. Johnson plays it ahead to Hargadine. Hargadine streaking down, trying to get around some traffic. Good Mohawk move, fighting through a couple of checks. Burning some precious clock nonetheless. 45 seconds remaining in the contest. Keeping an eye on that net. Under a minute remaining. There goes the goalie heading to the bench. Empty net for Minnesota. Get a penalty here as there's a Mustang player down in the corner. Looks like they were going to call a penalty. There's a stoppage in play. I'm not sure what the call was. Neither referee has their arm up for a penalty, but they stopped it when the player was down. Back on his feet. That's good to see. Reset my clock here. They'll probably stick the goalie back of the net. Stoppage in play for the injury. And now there's a timeout called by Minnesota. 34 seconds remaining. Exciting finish to the season, one way or another. Potentially live to fight one more game. We'll see what happens. But great game here this morning. KC up 6-5. 34 seconds remaining. Win and they're in with one more game. A loss, even a close loss here, potentially could still get them in. We'll see how that shakes out with the goal differential. But how about we just take care of business and finish it off with a win. Hargadine to take the face-off. Howard and JC are your wingers. Barron and Weiser on defense. 34 seconds to victory. Trying to hang on. Empty net, Minnesota.
And to watch the guy.
Hargadine wins a face-off back to Barron. Barron lets it fly, looking for a shot, and he scores! Empty netter from Asher Barron. KC goes up 7-5. Icing on the cake here with 30 seconds remaining. Hargadine wins the face-off back to Barron. Quick flip shot all the way to the end of the ice. Right on target. 28 seconds remaining. KC goes up 7-5. $12 goals. What an outpouring of offense here. They're going to keep the goalie pulled. They'll go with 6 attackers right off the face-off. Loose puck picked aside by Howard. Howard and Hargadine trying to dig it out. Mustangs come away with it across the blue line. Picked up by Weiss. They're trying to clear it out. Shot on target, though, kept in by the Mustangs. Kicked over to the far corner by Barron. Barron ties up his man. Mustangs dig it out. Trying to get a centering pass. Shot goes wide. Caroms around, rides the rail all the way out to the blue line. Empty netter for JC. Fanned on it, but he clears it back down. 1 second remaining. And that'll do it. KC wins it. 7-5. KC advances one more game today. What a game. 12 goals. Lots of action. KC fights through a 4-1 deficit, claws back, ties it, goes down again 5-4, followed by 3 more goals, and they end up winning it 7-5. It's awesome. 12 goals. That was one clock. Fun to watch. What's that? It's a long clock. Yeah, no doubt. Same guys. You still on? I'm still on, yeah. 7-5 your final. KC will actually face the same team here in Minnesota. It's just a 3-team friendly, so they'll face off against Minnesota this afternoon. We'll see you back here in a couple hours.